I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Emotions were running high in Bloomingburg again last night as a standing room only crowd of local residents were making themselves heard during a village board meeting, directing most of their ire at Mayor Mark Berenson and the ongoing construction of the 396-unit, apparently Hasidic Villages of Chestnut Ridge townhouse development. This was the first regular meeting of the Bloomingburg Village Board since August, and residents grilled the mayor about his appointment of new board member Larry Arnold, the handling of the development's approval process, and the lack of monthly meetings.
There is no requirement that there's a monthly meeting.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is required to meet to pay bills.
I'm not going to debate this issue.
This is not a debate. It's a question. So you are absolutely right. It is absolute. There is no minimum meeting requirement.
That's correct.
But it is, you just said, a moment before the bills have been paid. It is absolutely the law. In order to pay the bills, you must meet. Please explain what you just said.
Back on Monday, the village board held an apparently illegal emergency meeting to try to protect itself from legal action. The board attempted to deal with routine business during the Thursday evening meeting. It lasted only 35 minutes, leaving residents frustrated with the lack of answers to their questions. The search is on for the driver who struck and killed a City of Newburgh man as he was walking to work Thursday morning along Walsh Road in the town of New Windsor. Town police say 32-year-old Eric Getter was hit from behind while walking to his job at American Felt and Filter. Police were notified when Getter failed to show up for work. His body was discovered nearly 12 hours later in nearby Quasaic Creek. Police were hoping some video taken in that area may turn up clues that will lead them to the vehicle and to the driver. Anyone with information concerning the fatal hit and run are urged to call the Town of New Windsor Police Detective Division. The number is 845-565-7000. First a snowstorm, then bitter cold, now the threat of flooding with rain in the forecast and temperatures rising, which will combine to raise a flood alert in places like the Delaware River, where the warmer temps and thaw have started to loosen up river ice, leading to concerns of ice jams that could produce flooding problems along some stretches of river. Officials in Port Jervis are on alert with heavy rain forecast for the region late Saturday. Keep clicking here at Record Online throughout the weekend for any updated weather-related developments. Back on November 19, 2012, Timothy Evans was unintentionally shot and killed by his best friend while the pair were deer hunting off Forest Road in the town of Newburgh. Today in Orange County Court, 40-year-old Guy Wensley of Plattekill pleaded guilty to the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Prosecutors say Wensley did all he could to try to save his friend after he tragically mistook him for a deer and fired a shot. After accepting the guilty plea, Judge Nicholas DeRosa handed down the negotiated sentence of a conditional discharge. He was hired as a contractor to renovate a summer residence in Spring Glen back in June, but state police say David Miller removed the home's pipes and heating system and then sold them for scrap metal. The 41-year-old Napanock resident was charged with felony grand larceny. Miller is currently in Sullivan County Jail on unrelated charges. A woman from Glen Spey's run afoul of the law for allegedly forging medical documents as a way to try to avoid punishment for not meeting the conditions of her probation. Monticello police arrested 36-year-old Amy Jo Smith after getting tipped off by the Sullivan County Probation Department. Police say Smith presented medical documents from Bon Secours Hospital in Port Jervis stating that she missed probation appointments because she was seeking cancer treatments. Authorities determined Smith had never been treated there and that the altered paperwork belonged to another member of her family. Smith was charged with felony criminal possession of a forged instrument. In Sullivan County, state police say an alert neighbor helped them catch a pair of burglars red-handed. Early Thursday afternoon, the person placed a 911 call after seeing two men enter an abandoned residence on Route 209 in Wurtsboro. Responding troopers say two men were inside removing lengths of copper baseboard. 27-year-old Matthew Mikulski of Port Jervis and 32-year-old Stephen Ogden of Slate Hill face charges of burglary and criminal mischief. Both were arraigned and sent to Sullivan County Jail. And the new year has gotten off to a really good start for Albert Schmidt of Harriman. The 66-year-old retired teacher and father of three won a $1 million prize on a lottery scratch-off purchased in Washingtonville. Schmidt, who initially thought the ticket might be phony, says he'll split the prize with wife Joanna and his 3 adult children. That'll turn out to be about $132,000 each after tax withholdings. Following his win, Schmidt promised his son Brian that he would skydive with him in Florida. We wish we were in Florida this week. Now the precipitation this weekend will be in the form of rain, and as we mentioned earlier, could create some flooding issues in parts of our region. Saturday will be cloudy and mild, with the rain expected later in the day. It could be heavy at times. The high Saturday will reach the low 50s. Sunday should be sunny and another day of welcome relief from the recent deep freeze. Temperature Sunday should hit 50 degrees. You'll stay connected to your community and your world when you read the Times-Herald Record this weekend. And breaking news is just a click away right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.